Let me get this out of the way first. Flickshot Rogues received an update when I was 2/3 done editing this video, and the build received what I consider to be a small buff. Perhaps the biggest update is the addition of new cursed variants of characters, which are unlocked at Doom level 5. Trust me when I say, this guide can get you there. I have added notes in the relevant sections. Any more updates I learn in the future will be in the pinned comment. With that out of the way, enjoy the guide. If you're anything like me, you've been loving Flickshot Rogues, the game that feels like part turn-based air hockey and part explosive pirate roguelike. Maybe you find yourself wondering what the best builds are, or maybe this video is your first introduction to the game. That's okay. I break it down in a simple enough way that everyone should be able to follow along. I have a combo for you that is the most powerful I have used so far, and more importantly, is a blast to play. By the end of the run, this setup can clear 3-round combats with ease, while remaining nearly untouched. In fact, during the runs I recorded for this guide, I made it through the full 6,000 HP of the final boss without losing a single point of health. Twice. The build is based around the first two characters, who each come with a signature weapon. The Swashbuckler careens around the field, doing damage with his cutlass on every collision. Klabautermann, henceforth referred to as Klab, does an AoE axe attack when he comes to a stop. Both of these primary weapons can be upgraded to devastating and sometimes hilarious results. More on that a bit later. Next, you choose from relics that serve as a sort of secondary weapon and drastically alter how the game is played. For this build, you will need to play a few runs and advance your overall level to the point that you unlock the High Voltage Eel and Fool Maker relics. This section is updated per the Cursed Crew update. When using the Fool Maker, the first enemy struck becomes tagged as the Fool. Once the enemy has been tagged, it will receive damage equal to 50% of all damage done on the field. Here's what changed. When I made this guide, that took place only at the end of the entire round, and now it happens twice per round. Once at the end of your turn, and again at the end of the enemy's turn. For now, just remember this core loop. Tag the Fool, damage enemies, profit. In Flickshot, battles are handled in waves, and killing the special commanders with the gold bases ends the wave. As the Doom level increases, things get more complicated. You will not always have a shot at a commander on the first turn. That's where Klab comes in. Hurl him into the center of a group of enemies and let him wreak havoc, spreading lightning across the field. You are likely to get chip damage on the boss before even getting to tag them. The more enemies that are chained, the higher the lightning damage, and with a couple upgrades, it very quickly gets out of control. I should also mention an important mechanic when it comes to Fool Maker. If I strike an enemy for 20 damage, the Fool will gain 10 damage above his head, to be dealt at the end of the turn. If I strike an enemy that has 1 HP, what do you think happens? That's right, it still deals 20 damage as far as the passive is concerned, so the Fool still gets 10 damage. This is hugely important because it means that even when the field is full of weakened enemies, you will still be dealing full damage. The main synergy we will build relies on some upgrades. Rather than going over them all, I will highlight a few key upgrades for each character and give you a general philosophy when choosing more. The essential upgrades for Swashbuckler are Unfriendly Fire and Fool by Association. Unfriendly Fire is the core of the build. It causes the Fool to take 100% of the damage dealt to the player rather than the usual 50%. This is later upgraded to 300%, which is as broken as it sounds. Fool by Association is a crown jewel of this build, taking it from strong to ridiculous to behold at times. The upgrade causes the Fool to do damage in its surroundings equal to 50% of the Fool's damage, basically turning commanders into nukes by the late game. The essential upgrades for Klab are High Voltage Chains and Reinvigorating Current. High Voltage Chains increases your chain lightning damage by 50%. then later by 100%, clearing more enemies and doing more full damage. Reinvigorating Current restores shield equal to 10% and later 20% of all lightning damage. We have already established that this damage stacks quickly, meaning you will be regaining shield every turn, but the best is yet to come. What truly enables this build are the items. You will want two for sure. The Supportive Rock Friend and the Epic Loot. The Supportive Rock Friend restores shield at the start of any turn after you've taken damage, which at 10% per rock adds up fast. The Epic Loot restores 10% of health at the end of each arena, which can help you stay topped up. If you have to choose, buy rocks. Shield is so valuable to this build, I would basically call it required. Now, 10% might not sound like much at 100 health and 50 shield, but by the late game it's possible to have health in the 2000s and well over 1000 shield, so the numbers become more significant. Now let's talk about some PEAs, Performance Enhancing Additions. In general, you want anything that increases max health, increases max shield, or restores shield. The character's main weapon can also be upgraded and provide more damage or utility. Klab can get a couple upgrades that give him potential multiple attacks in a turn, such as when hitting a wall or taking damage. The Swashbuckler can get some interesting upgrades, but I find the most impactful to be the one that causes every collision, even on enemies' turns, to deal damage. The upgrade that gives you a speed boost after bouncing off the first wall you hit per turn can allow some trick shots into commanders. These can net you some crazy bonus kills where Swashbuckler just bounces off a wall at Mach 10 and hits an enemy 4 times, killing it instantly. For items, the Broken Heart grants 25% bonus shield, but takes away that much shield at the start of every combat. The Picnic Set restores 25% shield at the start of a wave. Not as good as the Rock, but stacks with Rock and Broken Heart very nicely. And finally, Overworld encounters. The best are Wise Monkey, who can give you health and shield increases in exchange for setting you to half HP, and Peaceful Rock, which can give you health and shield as well as random free rock friends. If you decide to try this build, I'd love to hear how your run goes. It's one of the most satisfying playstyles I've found in Flickshot Rogues so far, and once everything comes together, you are basically untouchable. I am super excited about all the new content for this game, so if you've watched this far, I want to thank you sincerely. Happy flicking.